Welcome to Mechanic. Today I'm going to show you 3 design flows with Tesla vehicles. So these cars are supposed to have some of the most advanced features, but some of the choices that Tesla engineers made are very counterintuitive, and they don't really help when it comes to practicality. So the first one is these door handles. Or the latch mechanism, instead of having the latch here where most cars have it, they put it right on the frame, as you can see here. The problem with that is that when you have this door handle and you pull on it, first of all, you have to have power to be able to get this out. So you can't really open the door if the battery is dead. And if you're stuck on the inside, because what will happen is this extends out, you pull this, the car takes a signal that you extended the door handle, sends this to the car computer, which sends another signal here. It tells this latch to release the door. But what happens if you're in the car and the battery is dead, or if you have an electrical issue? There's no direct mechanism, there's no direct connection from that to this, right? On most cars you would have this latch right here. This part, this is what actually locks and unlocks the car door, this part right here. So you pull on the lever there. On those cars, most cars, this is going to be here. You pull on the handle and that just releases. But like I said, here we have a wire that goes to the car computer, then comes back into this. If you're stuck inside the car, if you don't have power, you have electrical issues, you're stuck. I mean, they did think about the fact to put a mechanical door release right there. So if you're stuck inside a Tesla and you need to open the door, you have to pull on that, which has a cable running to this. But overall, that's a pretty poor choice. There's no benefits to that, doing it that way. You don't have a mechanical link. You can't manually unlock these doors if you have issues, electrical problems and things like that. So that's a pretty poor design in my opinion. The next one is no start stop button. Sometimes I'll come in the car and it can take 30 seconds, sometimes a minute or two. If the car was sitting for a real long time and that 12-volt batteries, because they have 12-volt battery, starts to drain, this will take a while to boot up. So coming in here and not having a start stop button, it's actually a lot of times I might have to even like get outside, press the button, lock the door, and then unlock it again to come inside and have the car recognize. As you can see now, it says car off right there. So there's no way for me to say, hey, I want to start driving again. I changed my mind. I don't want to get out of the car. I want to close the door and start driving. No, I have to get out or press the unlock button. Sometimes you have to lock and unlock the door. So it's a pretty poor design. Another issue with this is let's say I had to work on this door panel, these door handles. They extend out, they're all break. On this one, we have replaced the driver's one. The back ones are actually currently broken. They're pretty high failure point. I want to work on that door panel. I can't, if I come in here and I have the key, this will just recognize it, and I can't turn off ignition power to the car. I have to go and disconnect the battery, which is a good practical thing to do, to disconnect power. But sometimes you might want to work on something that you don't need to disconnect the battery. So there's not having a start stop button. It's just a big disadvantage in my opinion. And the last one is the climate controls. It's nice to have this big screen here, but you don't want to be looking at this right here, trying to turn on AC, change temperature, do stuff like that while you're on the road driving. This is a hazard. You know, it would be nice to have a couple of buttons here, just at least for the climate control. Volume control is on the steering wheel, so you have these knobs here. But climate control, I mean, it is nice to have that back screen, but it's not practical. And I hope you keep your eyes on the road or pull over so you can change your climate control. So these are some features that they probably thought that would be a good practical thing, but they're not. They make things more complicated for the daily driver. And some of them, like the door handles on the back, it's just a safety concern. And another problem with these without going too much into detail on these door handles, they extend and sometimes they can fail and think you're opening the door, and then they unlatch. The door just automatically opens on its own. If you have the car settings to unlock all doors and present all the door handles for you, those door handles, when they present, they can come out too far. Like the car thinks you're pulling on the door handle and then unlatches the door. So it's not really doing Tesla a favor to have these kind of features that are not helping anyone. So hopefully you keep these things in mind as you consider buying a used Tesla. Thanks for watching Mechanic, where you can be the mechanic.